You're listening to Lex Cunningham and Friends.
All right, thank you, Kat. Welcome to the Pure Garbage Podcast. I am your host, Lex Cunningham, along with my peeps, and hopefully we'll get one or two of them on this particular show for those that have been listening. You've ever been into a restaurant? Have you ever had anyone say to you at any point in your life, we should go over there and try the food? We should go over there and eat. We should go have a snack. You know what? I'm starving. Follow me down this aisle. Yet you never considered the ramifications that the food actually may be tainted. I say this because we'll check the jars of food that you have in your refrigerator. You look for expiry dates, but yet we're just willingly will walk into a place, 95% of us, and just, assume that it's going to be okay. With zero research, you'll just put it in your mouth. A buddy of mine I was working with, he said, hey Lex, let's get some food. So we walked into this place and they were serving up this like chili chicken kind of thing. For those that don't know what chili chicken is, maybe it's a phenomenon that's only happening in my region, but it might be everywhere. It's like boiled peanuts in the South. Not to degrade the South, but they have these things called boiled nuts in there, and these guys stand on most of the time on rural roads boiling peanuts in these big oil type bins, and they put in like a gumbo and they serve it up to unsuspecting Canadian tourists who come down and pay way too much for peanuts in a bag. So we walk into the place and it smells pretty good and it looks pretty clean, but there's this bucket. There's this fucking bucket. Now, in most cases, I wouldn't give a shit if there was a bucket. I could care less. As I passed the kitchen, I saw this bucket, and this bucket had eyes. This bucket looked at me. Fucking bucket. This bucket winked. It smiled, and it was right beside the sink. And I think I saw either beef or black beans in this bucket, and I was there ordering black beans, broccoli, and beef. Fucking bucket. So I had it in the back of my mind that didn't look right, but I didn't want to make or cause a fuss. I didn't want to seem rude or culturally insensitive to the situation, or to be, how can you put it, squeamish about things that did not pertain to me eating, and I assumed the bucket was not a part of the deal. Fucking bucket. So I went ahead. I went ahead. I ordered the black bean and broccoli with rice. Some good, and give me some of that. Swishy, hot sauce. And I took that and I had it in my little container and I went scurrying off back to my place of employment with my buddy. And we sat there and we all palled up with our little lunches and we said, hey, look what I have. And I opened up mine and it smelled a little funny. Fucking bucket. It went down so good though at first. You know how you know it's wrong, but it's so good. You keep on doing it.
You're listening to Lex Cunningham's Pure Garbage Podcast.
So I ate it. And I ate it with my pal, and we joked about the Bills and the Leafs and the basketball, and we sang songs of merriment. Fucking bucket. And then I went back to my little area, and I had some gas. Yeah, got home, sat down finally after a long day of work, and felt a little squeamish. Didn't want to have dinner. It's been now about 5 hours. Fucking bucket. No food for me. No, thank you. I'm not going to eat. Actually, I'm not going to do much of anything, but just go lay down now. I might need an ibuprofen. Maybe I need a fucking bucket. Fucking bucket. So I survived the night, maybe, if I could just lay down. I don't feel well. I'm a little gassy. And then up it came, out it went, and there I ran off to the washroom about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I stayed there till 5. Fucking bucket. Had to call in to work. Hi, boss. I can't come in. No, I've just been in the toilet all night. Fucking bucket. So this story brings me to the story of this restaurant in Saskatoon, in Saskatchewan. That's in Canada, folks. This restaurant, Saigon 2. Yeah, I can say the name because it's in the news and it's proof and it's fact. Check out the CBC. For those that are not from Canada, that's the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. They got a story about this restaurant. It has 31,000 violations, not 2. They've never had to pay a cent. 0 fines. It has 31,000 violations, 31,700 health violations in this place. Yet it kept running. It kept operating. Fucking bucket. This is a part of inspection report of 4,000 restaurants. This restaurant peaks at 31,700. You think this information would be available online? Which makes me go back to the fucking bucket story.
fucking bucket.
You got to check out your shit now. It's a different age when you eat food out.
You're an idiot.
Chef T. He's not a chef, but...
I'm not a chef. Not even close to being a chef.
Not close to being a chef. You're a hell of a cook, so let me call you chef. You keep saying no.
Okay, I'll keep on denying it.
Pork ribs.
Pork, yeah.
Yo, haha. Oh yeah.
Pork ribs, yes.
Yeah.
Oven pork ribs.
Yeah.
All right.
Free pork ribs.
Well, yeah, when you come to my place, yeah.
Yeah. For those that don't know,
but you make me walk here every time.
For those that don't know, Chef T, I've been to his place several times and have scarfed on on ribs.
Right.
Barbecued, smoked. You've done them several ways.
Yes, we can. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to actually cheat. We're going to do it inside the oven.
Inside the oven.
And cheat and then we're going to pretend that they were outside in the barbecue.
So they're like the poor man's ribs.
No, they're still ribs.
What if you live in an apartment?
Well, that's the reason why you're putting them in your oven, because I know a lot of places here in Toronto and in the surrounding areas, you're not allowed to cook on your balconies.
In your condo.
That's right. So you get a lot of heat from whoever. Well, you do. You invite your neighbors over then.
Ooh, I like that.
So do you have a rub before you throw it in the oven?
You know what?
How are you rubbing your meat, man?
I'm rubbing it with tender, loving care. No. You know what you do? I've tried several things. So first of all, you take the membrane off. There's a membrane on the back of the ribs, and it's a very paper sort of fibrous membrane, I guess you would call it.
So do you take this off before?
You take it all off because what happens is it doesn't permeate the seasoning doesn't permeate the meat, right? So you want it all,
in the meat, not on the membrane.
And it doesn't eat well too at the end.
So how would you take the membrane? You get a spoon?
Well, you kind of got to jiggle it around a little bit.
Yeah.
You get a corner off, and then if it's really slimy or slippery, which it usually is, you take a paper towel and just give a hold on to it and just peel it right off. So you can get a baby backs, which are a lot more expensive, and those are the ones with a full bone inside, right? And that's where you usually on that particular.
So if you don't know what a membrane is, you ask the butcher, "Show me the membrane," and he'd show it to you.
Yeah, he'll point to it, but unless you ask him to take it off for you, I mean, you come over to my place, I can take it off.
You're listening to Lex Cunningham and Friends.
Could I ask the butcher, "Hey, take the membrane off before I buy that"?
Sure, I don't see why he wouldn't do that.
Unless would that cost more?
I would say no. No. Unless you get it in the Cryovac packaging, the plastic packaging that they come in, right? So that's basically no. You do that at home. It's not very difficult to do. You just have to give it a good grip.
But I wonder how many people out there, even though there's a membrane on it, have been rubbing down.
Good people who know how to barbecue ribs do.
Okay.
And then people from Memphis and then people that listen in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I bet you they do.
But some guy living off the Danforth that's trying to get cute on a Sunday afternoon.
Probably not. Probably not.
You're listening to Lex Cunningham and Friends.
And then, what they do is something sacrilegious like boil them. Don't boil your ribs.
I have a family member that boils their ribs and then throws them in the oven. I would eat the ribs. I didn't know better. That's why when I had yours years later, I had ribs through the years, but then I had yours. It's like, those are good.
Yeah. Well, I've learned my lesson too.
Yeah. Did you used to boil?
Yeah, there's a learning curve. Yeah.
You used to boil with the membrane?
I had a member of my family as well. Did the same thing when I was growing up. So
that's a generational thing.
That's right. You live and learn, right?
You live and learn, or live and boil your ribs and wonder why they taste like kife.
Now a few words from Barry Portley.
Afternoon, Lex. Barry Portley here. Hey. Just getting out of a nice afternoon soak, putting on my slippers here. There we go. I think I'm going to have some Glenlivet today. Maybe a Cuban or El Salvadorian cigar. We'll see how it goes. But let me tell you where I went this morning and where I go minimum once a week. It's a little place in Scarborough called Sunny Up. It's one of the best breakfasts in the city. Family run, beautiful place to eat. My daughter has a good time there, friendly staff, amazing place. If you like big food, greasy spoon, go to Sunny Up. Best sausage, best potatoes, made with love. Let me tell you, I'm putting on a few LBs because maybe I need to stop going there, but it's just too damn good. Read the paper, have some coffees, do my regular gambling. Anyways, back to my scotch. Take care, Lex.
That was Barry Portley. Fresh out of the tub having a scotch in his robe.
You're listening to Lex Cunningham and Friends.
Hi, Lex. Hi, folks. It's John Longboat here. When I go up to North Bay to go on the bear hunt on my quad bike or go fishing in the lake with my nets, I like to go to Fanny's. There's some real delicious food there, and they're real kind to us folks when we're up there. And we get a lot of forest fires sometimes in the summer, and you get real thirsty. And going to Fanny's, it's really delicious.
Thank you, Mr. Longboat. Fanny's it is.
Yo, Lex, what's going on? It's your boy, Donnie Fistolata, man. I need to tell you about a joint up here in Ajax. If you guys are ever up around here for breakfast, you gotta check out Angelique's. I'm telling you, this is the spot. You're gonna love it.
You're listening to Lex Cunningham and Friends.
You want to be fed? You want to eat like a champ, like a true paisan? You got to check out Angelique's. They'll scramble, boil, toss your eggs, however you like it. Get your mind out of the gutter, you pigs. Anyway, come check out Angelique's. It's the place to go. Hey-oh!
And so ends another podcast. Thank you for listening. I'm Lex Cunningham, and thank you to all my friends.
Subscribe to Lex Cunningham's Pure Garbage Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you find podcasts.